Hello viewers, I'd like to welcome you to this online platform. As we all understand that this is the way to go, I would love to pass on my appreciation to all of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel, Okelo Alex Official. And in the same spirit, I would like to encourage you to continue sharing with your friends and all other people that you find in need of such kind of videos. I'm by the names of Okelo Alex, and I'm the one going to take you through this class. So as you can look at the title, today we want to look at cost accounting. Basically, it is such an interesting unit to study, as you all know that businesses cannot be separated from costs, and being that the major aim of a business is to maximize profits, so there is no way you can maximize profits without well managing your costs or minimizing your costs, as profit maximization matches with cost minimization. So it is all about, or it is the process of determining and accumulating costs of some particular product or service. So you find that to render a service or to produce a commodity, we need to incur a cost at a certain point in the process. So this assists us in that cost management to ensure that at the end of the day we are able to tell how much we are earning from a commodity or from a service that we are rendering or that we are offering. So it has got some advantages, importances of cost accounting. So one is stock valuation and profit measurement. So you find that cost accounting helps us in stock valuation and profit measurement, particularly when it comes to preparation of financial statements. For example, the statement of financial performance and financial position. We need stock. We have the opening stock as well as the closing stock. So it is crucial for preparation of financial reports because both the unsold items and the sold items form part of these financial statements. Then it can also be used in assessing the profitability of a product, given that we know or we are able to determine how much cost was incurred in producing a certain commodity and then compare with its selling price, the price at which we are currently offering the commodity, we can tell how much profit we are earning from each and every commodity that we happen to sell. So then it can also be used in budget preparation. So you find that given that it avails us all the necessary information concerning cost of a commodity, we use such cost information to prepare or to forecast a future budget. A budget is to be that foresees the coming period. Then it enhances decision making in business. So you find that when it comes to costs, we can either decide, for example, if we are producing a given product, we can decide either continue producing it or stop it, depending on how much we incur to produce such a commodity, as well as how much we earn from a profit from the commodity as a profit. So in that case, we normally prefer to take alternatives that are less costly to produce but highly paying. Then in the same way still, cost accounting helps us in setting the selling prices. When we are to sell a commodity, we must determine the selling price, and there is no way we're going to determine the selling price minus getting to know your cost of producing such a commodity. So meaning that before we come up with a selling price, we must look at how much do we incur to produce such a commodity. So those are a few advantages or relevances of cost accounting. However, there are other benefits that may be given to you in a detailed handout later. So we have designing a cost accounting system. So when you are to well manage your costs in a business, you must design a system, a good cost accounting system that can accumulate all the costs and then assign them to the cost objects, attach them to the commodities that led to their incurring. So cost accounting system is a system that accumulates costs and assigns them to the cost objects such as jobs, processes, activities, and reports. All the cost information should be able to provide to you all the cost information you need to determine or to make a decision. So proper costs accounting system assists management in planning and control of business operations. Given that you have all the details concerning the cost of a project, you're able to make decisions and manage well your business activities. So when it comes to designing a cost accounting system, there are some factors that you need to consider or that you must put in mind before to actually make a decision to develop such a system. And what are some of these factors? So we have one of them is size of the farm. So the size of the farm determines how large the cost accounting system should be. So meaning that the complexity or the outline of your cost accounting system will have to depend on the size of the farm, implying that a large farm will require you to develop a large cost accounting system, a system that is able to hold large sums of data, large chunks of cost information, compared to a small business, a small farm. A small farm, being that it holds less cost information, you may need to develop a small system. Then another factor is the manufacturing process. So you find that some manufacturing processes are long or many have many stages. So you find that if your manufacturing process involves many stages of production, then you must design a cost accounting system that captures each and every stage of production that you have to go through. So the methods of collecting hours worked, inventory system, overhead recovery, and other problems related with the factory factors vital in designing a cost accounting system. So, for example, all the hours worked by employees, the inventory you have, the stock you have in the business, overheads incurred, must all be captured in your system of accounting. Then we have another factor. Another factor is management control needs. So of course, management control needs vary from business to business or from farm to farm. So there's no standard measure or there's no standard criteria that standard need. So you find that when you're designing a cost accounting system, you must iron out, you must identify, you must input whatever management wants to have in hand with such a system. So the designing of the cost accounting system in a business firm is guided by the management control requirements. The system should apply data to people at different levels in an organization and take suitable actions in their respective areas. Then the size of an organizational structure or the type of an organizational structure may also determine which cost accounting system you should have to develop. So the system must match the organizational division or authority so that foremen, supervisors, departmental heads, and executives can be held accountable for their deeds or for their decisions made in the business, given that every decision made in a business is influential to the overall performance of the firm. So it must hold each and every responsible authority accountable for the decisions made by them. Then we have another factor, that is staff sufficiency. So when you're developing a system, then you must also look at your staff, the capacity of your employees to adapt to the system or to operate the system. So meaning that you shouldn't develop a system that is difficult, that employees cannot operate, that employees cannot manage, meaning it will not succeed, it will fail. So look at your staff's capacity and skills before developing a system, because they need to be engaged in this system for it to work as per the expectations of the firm. Then another factor is comparability. So the system that you develop should be able to compare the business enterprise in different years. For example, you should be able to have data for 2019, should be having data for 2020 and maybe 2021 for comparison purposes, to compare how the business has been incurring its costs, or the trend of costs incurring within different years. At the same time, should also enable cost comparisons between the firm and other firms in the same industry, for purposes of finding out whether we are operating at we are incurring the least cost compared to other firms, or we are incurring the highest cost compared to other firms in the same industry, so that in order for us to make decisions and adjust to match the minimum costing required to produce a given commodity. So when you're developing a costing system, you must look at the features. What are the different characteristics or features of an ideal cost accounting system? What should it possess? What characteristics should it have? What should it hold? So you must have answers to that in your mind when you're developing this system. So here we are told that an ideal system of costing is that which achieves the objectives of the cost